Hey guys, my name is Nora Franche, and welcome to the podcast Grateful Blessed Mess, daily reflections for those in the 12 steps. I am a fellow 12-stepper and certified mindset coach, and I am here to introduce you to the value of mindset coaching in your 12-step journey. So if you feel like you are stuck in the steps, if you're slipping and sliding with your abstinence, mindset coaching may help you as it did me, and you can find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. These episodes are meant to invite you in to consider the truths of 12-step wisdom and to join in the very real struggle of living them in action. I hope that it feels almost like a mini meeting, and I invite you to contribute your own share on the Grateful Blessedness Facebook group to keep the discussion going. My comments are based on my own experience, so feel free to take what you like and leave the rest. But my hope is to encourage you on your own daily 12-step journey. As they say, you cannot stay clean on yesterday's shower. So without further ado, let's begin. Hey guys, we are reading from The Language of Letting Go. The reading for June 29th, page 181. God's Will. God's will most often happens in spite of us, not because of us. We may try to second guess what God has in mind for us, looking, searching, hypervigilant to seek God's will as though it were a buried treasure hidden beyond our reach. If we find it, we win the prize. But if we're not careful, we miss out. That's not how it works. We may believe that we have to walk on eggshells, saying, thinking, and feeling the right thing, while forcing ourselves somehow to be in the right place at the right time to find God's will. But that's not true. God's will for us is not hidden like a buried treasure. We do not have to control or force it. We do not have to walk on eggshells in order to have it happen. It is right there inside and around us. It is happening right now. Sometimes it is quiet and uneventful and includes the daily disciplines of responsibility and learning to take care of ourselves. Sometimes it is healing us when we're in circumstances that trigger old grieving and unfinished business. Sometimes it is grand. We do have a part. We have responsibilities, including caring for ourselves. But we do not have to control God's will for us. We are being taken care of. We are being protected. And the power caring for and protecting us loves us very much. If it is a quiet day, trust the stillness. If it is a day of action, trust the activity. If it is time to wait, trust the pause. If it is time to receive that which we have been waiting for, trust that it will happen clearly and with power, and receive the gift in joy. Today I will trust that God's will is happening as it needs to in my life. I will not make myself anxious and upset by searching vigorously for God's will, taking unnecessary actions to control the course of my destiny, or wondering if God's will has passed me by and I have missed it. That's really cool. Yeah, it's funny the way they talk about it, how we think we have to do just the right things to make God's will happen. And my sponsor's voice comes in my head of you're not that powerful, Nora. You're worried and twisted in knots over something that you have no power to control. So you know what? Let yourself off the hook on this one, because you don't have any sway in it. But there also is something I used to believe, as a kid and then into adulthood, that I had to wait to be told very clearly what God's will for me was. So here's just my little history of experience. I didn't realize that God's will was happening in every second. And I didn't realize that His will is going to be carried out no matter what I do. Now, in Catholic circles, this gets to be a little bit philosophical because it's well, what about terrible things, right? And so there's something called His active will and His permissive will. I think that's right. And His permissive will is when people make poor decisions, but He loves us enough not to take away our free will. And so because He always gives us the option to choose then sometimes people choose bad things and bad things happen. But his active will, I think, why does active not sound right? His actual will is when, things, his orchestration of how he wants things to go about are happening, and we're picking up on the ways that he's communicating with us, whether they're subtle or grand, like it says in this reading here. And I also didn't realize the ways that God can speak to us, and that everybody has their own specific way that God talks to them, and that he uses the world around us most often to speak to us. Most people don't hear a voice booming from the sky. I've never heard that. But a lot of us get what the big book talks about, that intuition. When in doubt, we get quiet and we pray for the next intuitive thought to come. And when it comes, that's the way our higher power is speaking to us. He uses our own voice sometimes in our mind to talk to us, to give us ideas, to direct us. Other times it's like, I don't know if you've ever been going through something and a song comes on the radio that just speaks to your heart, and it was just like, oh my gosh, I think that's the way that God allows the world to hug us, to give us those consolations that we can have. And other people, it's more just like a sudden idea they get, or for some others, it's something that they're reading that jumps out. It jumps off the page. They've read the big book 1,000 times, but they swear they've never read that sentence before. And all of a sudden it just like whack, hits them on the head, and it changes the way they see things. And there's many other ways. And, sometimes just the lyrics in a song. I've started something I've started to, it's like changed with my ear in the way that I hear music, is with love songs. Instead of hearing them as like a guy singing to a girl, I hear it now lots of times as my higher power singing to me. And so like John Legend's All of You, that was a big one where I just started crying in the car when I was driving, and it came on, and it's like, all of you. Well, I guess it's just what I heard was him saying like, all of me loves all of you. Every what are the lyrics? Every line and imperfection, every perfect imperfection, all that stuff, everything. And so anyway, that's a way that I think, that I believe, that I know my higher power speaks to me. And the only, you just know when you know. I trust that you will let me know where to go from here, whether or not this was the right thing. You might get feedback instead of directives ahead of time, and it's his will. So we plug ahead, and we say thank you. With that, I pass. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you feel that mindset coaching could help you on your 12-step journey, please feel free to reach out and find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. This is not a replacement for 12-step work. This is something outside of the 12 steps. It is simply something that has a heart for the 12 steps and those who are in it. And so, welcome. If you are here, chances are you may also be a bit of a mess. And I hope that you can learn to find some gratitude in the blessings that have come from your messes.